These are horror tropes and cliches and shit that I fucking hate. Now, I love horror so fucking much. I love horror movies. I love horror games. My favorite horror game of all time is Outlast, and one day I do need to do a little ramble about Outlast cuz it literally is one of my favorite fucking horror series ever. I want more games like Outlast so bad. But there are some things in horror movies, specifically horror movies, I'd say, and horror games too, that just piss me the fuck off and really, they irk my fucking soul. The first thing is that people who keep fucking falling when they're running away from a monster, the enemy, whatever the fuck it is that's supposed to be scary. I recently watched Resident Evil 9. As interesting as Grace is as a character, and she did kind of grow on me, the one thing that pissed me off though is the fact that she kept fucking falling. Like when you have to run away from like the enemy every time, or maybe not every time, but like half the time when Grace had to run away from something, she would just be like, I keep falling. Like, girl, get the fuck up. Lock the fuck in. Like, you do not have time to be tripping and falling. But she's not the only one. Horror movies, you have to run away from something and then they just conveniently, they fall. They fall. You're like, get the fuck up. This is not the time to be fucking falling. I don't care if you tripped over a fucking rock. Bitch, dodge the rock. Juke the rock. You don't have time to be falling. Another trope that I fucking hate is the character who asks too many questions when they're in danger. This kind of comes from Resident Evil 9 again when it comes to Grace, but it's like some people just have the worst awareness ever. Someone is telling you something's coming, we need to go, and they're showing a sense of urgency. And the other person's like, what's going on? What's happening? Why? I'm not going anywhere. You're not telling me what's going on. Bitch, you're about to fucking die. You're about to fucking die. Why? Fight or flight. I don't care if you don't know what the fucking threat is. Look, it's like when one black person runs, all the black people are running. No questions fucking asked. I'm gonna need for more people to have that fucking mentality. It's like, shut the fuck up and like give a shit about your life. Another thing is when the main character or whatever does not pick up or they drop their weapon. It is really annoying when someone like the main character protagonist, they have like, let's say they have an axe and they hit somebody with that axe and then they decide to run away without the axe. What the fuck are you doing? That axe is your way of defending yourself. Why are you leaving it in somebody's neck, in their leg, wherever the fuck you hit someone on their body? Why are you leaving the weapon behind? This doesn't even have to just go for horror. This can go for anything. This can go for like any genre where there's a weapon involved, or especially dropping the weapon. When the main character, like everyone thinks the main character is crazy and they get admitted into like a fucking hospital or a mental institution. Spoiler alert, because I'm gonna use American Horror Story Murder House as an example. Whenever I rewatch this season, which is one of my favorite seasons, whenever I rewatch it, I have to skip the part where they put Vivian in like a mental hospital because everyone thinks she's fucking crazy. But she's actually not. Ben thinks she's crazy, even though Ben's a fucking piece of shit who cheated on her with one of his students. And even Violet, which this made me upset. And I know she did this because she loves tape. Oh my fucking God. You just sold out your mother. She literally knew what Vivian was seeing in the murder house. You know, she was like, Mom, you're crazy. I hate that. I hated seeing Vivian in that fucking hospital. I always have to skip that part. I don't like seeing it. And I that's the most annoying cliche because you as the viewer know that the main character is not fucking crazy, but everyone else thinks they are. And then there's more danger happening because the person who knows what's going on and is experiencing this shit is locked in a fucking hospital. When the black person dies, I'm telling you, this shit still be fucking happening. Like when the one black person, the first black person you see, they die. I'm gonna bring up Resident Evil again, actually. So something that low-key annoys me. I love Resident Evil Biohazard, one of my favorite Resident Evil games that I've watched. No, I don't play it. I have too much anxiety and I'm kind of a pussy. They have the black cop who finds Ethan's like, oh, what are you doing out here? There's been some missing persons reports. Are you involved? Right? And when Ethan actually like meets up with the cop, guess what? Spoiler alert. Jack Baker puts a fucking shovel in his head and he's dead. I'm like, okay, could y'all make him anything but black? Please, like, Like, when I see a black person in a horror movie or something, I think you're gonna die. I just have a feeling that you're gonna die. And when they don't, I'm actually like, yes, I'm actually like kind of happy. Like, yes, oh my God, you fucking lived. You survived the fucking cliche. I'm so fucking proud of you. But like, I'm like, we still doing that. Come on now. People who investigate, why the fuck are you doing that? This is me again saying that some people do not have a fucking fight or flight. And yes, I know I'm talking about games and TV shows and they have to investigate for the story, but in real life, there's some people who would actually go investigating in some places that are like literally haunted, where people have died, where there's fucking spirits, where there's like vengeful spirits. There's no need to investigate. Just stay where the fuck you are, stay the fuck home. Like, don't be stupid. And this is the last one, and this specifically has to do with a movie that I watched recently. It's a Korean horror movie. It's called The Wailing, which I actually didn't finish. I have like 20 minutes left. Basically, there is like this evil spirit possesses the main character's daughter, like young daughter. Grandma was like, oh, I'm gonna get the shaman here and we're like, he can help us. And basically the shaman was saying, we're gonna do a ritual, okay? And when we do this ritual, we have to do it. We have to go through with it, right? Like, he was pretty much emphasizing to the dad, like, this has to happen. And in the first ritual that they did, like the very first one before he like does this bigger ritual, I mean, it was a whole fucking shebang. You could see that the little girl, like there was a spirit inside of her that was disturbed by this like ritual that the shaman was doing. So it's like, okay, so this shit is working. Now, if you put yourself in the perspective of a mother and a father whose daughter is possessed by something and you have to get the shaman or whatever, the pastor, to do something to get the spirit out, and you see that your daughter is in agony trying to get the spirit out of her, look, maybe I feel some kind of way too, but I don't play about ghosts. I would let that nigga do his thing. Let the shaman do his thing. He knows what he's doing. He's doing all this ritual stuff for a fucking reason. Do you want your daughter to be normal? Unless I missed something in the movie, but basically the parents were like, stop the ritual. And I was mad because I'm like, that nigga probably paid for like all the, I think there was a pig head. Like, he paid for all kinds of shit to make this ritual happen. And this nigga said, stop. You just wasted that nigga's money. You wasted the shaman's money. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, honestly, like, no, do what you gotta do. Get the spirit out of my child. But yeah, that's all I have on my list here. Let me know what you think about any of the tropes, cliches, and shit that I talked about. Do you agree with any of them? Disagree with any of them? Do these also annoy you? Are there any other tropes or cliches that I forgot, didn't mention, that you hate when it comes to horror movies, horror shows, horror games? And yeah, that's it for this video. And until the next one, whatever I talk about.